Alright guys, Gets Pwned here, and welcome to the second video in my series on wormhole hunting. Today we are going to cover the directional scanner and probe scanner, as well as some basic situational awareness. Knowing how to use your D-scan properly is crucial when in wormhole space, as we need to know if there are any hostiles in system so that we can act appropriately. Additionally, we will use our probe scanner to search out wormholes to jump through, and also see if there are any structures in system or if there are any ships we didn't pick up on our D-scan. So with that being said, let's jump right in. First, we'll take a look at the directional scanner. Now, you can see mine's already open. Mine stays open 24/7. So in case you don't know how to open it, down here you will see the scanners button. Click on that, and over here to the right is directional scanner. So let's open that up, kind of pull this up so we can see it a little better. So first thing I want to talk about is the filtering. So if you have overviews, customized or set up properly, you can use some of your tabs you've created to filter out. So I like to keep mine on PvP or the PvP plus, which is basically neutral and hostile ships, and the plus is, with drones. So we're going to use plus just to kind of play around with, so maybe we'll see some drones out there. Next thing we want to look at here is the range. So we can adjust this in increments of AU, astronomical units. Max is 14.3 AU. So you can see we already picked up some stuff. We see a Gila out there and some drones. So that's at max range. Also, we have angle. Now it's called the directional scanner, but we can set it in 360 mode to see anything 360 degrees around us. To better demonstrate that, you can open up your solar system map here and get an idea. Show scan cone so we can see our location. So we're here sitting next to this planet, and you can see this sphere here is our scan range. So as I decrease the scan range, you can see it visually on the map here. So that's 360, that's all directions around us. Additionally, we can lower the angle here, so let's look at 30 degrees. So see, we have a nice cone that we're scanning in. So we're scanning, not picking anything up. There's a button here to align with camera that will just kind of align it straight up. But what you can do is, if you left click and drag out in space here, you can see that it moves. So if you turn off that align with camera, you can kind of see this a little bit better. So what we can do is drag around and get it. So say I want to scan that planet over there. I can bring the cone down and you see how it lights up here. So then we can scan and see nobody's there. Let's go towards the sun here. Oh, we're not that direction. I think that's it. No. There we go. See if anybody's over there. No. Check this other planet. So I'm trying to find that ship and drone. Okay, so there's some of the drones over here. So we take a better look here. We're a little off. Let's kind of center that up a little bit. Decrease our angle. So they're not there. As you can see here, we can move this thing around and scan in any particular direction we desire. Or just to see what's going on around us, we can put it in 360 mode. Normally I keep mine in 360 just so I know who's in the region with me. And sometimes I even bring this down lower so I know who's like a little bit closer to me. Additionally, I run my D-scan on a hotkey. I have it set to spacebar, so anytime I press spacebar, it refreshes my list here. So in case you don't know how to set that up, if you go over here to the Neocom menu, go to settings, and go to shortcuts, under combat you will see directional scan. So you can click here, edit shortcut, press any key you want it to be. Like I said, I like spacebar, so mine is set to spacebar. So just randomly when I'm flying around, I'm tapping spacebar to update this list to see who's in the area. always want to know. Once we get into wormhole space, it's going to be even more crucial because, in normal space, we can see in local that we have some other people in system with us. Once we get into wormhole, this is going to be blank all the time. We're only going to have our other tools to know who's around us. Okay, so moving along to our probe scanner. Same thing down here. You can open it up with this radial menu. Click on probe scanner. You can see we do have some cosmic signatures in this system with us. Keep in mind there's also a filter on the probe scanner. Normally I keep mine I want to see cosmic signatures, structures, ships. But if you want to change that, you can go right here. You can create your own filter if you'd like. So we need to launch some drones, but we're currently cloaked, so we're gonna have to uncloak real quick, pop our drones out, wait for our timer here, and then recloak. So we can now try to scan down some of these cosmic signatures. I like this one over here by itself. I'm going to start with this one. So what you can do here is you drag your little square out. You're going to want to put it over whatever it is you're trying to scan. Then there's these two toggle view buttons here. This left one is the kind of top-down view, and then here you have a side view. So the way I like to do it is start in top view, center my zone around my signature there, go to the side view, and drag the little arrow down to kind of get myself centered. Also, you'll notice this giant red sphere here. We want to make sure on our first pass that we get that fully encompassed. So that's normally going to be at an AAU range here. So this is our probe size, which is kind of our overall scan radius here. So once we're happy with our positioning, we're going to click Analyze. Let it run through its process and see what we come up with. Okay, so it moved over a little bit. Like I said, I like to start with the top view, bring it down. Pretty good there. Also, you can zoom in and out here. And something to note, so see how we have it pretty centered here? As you zoom in, you see it comes off of the center point a little bit. Also, you can click on the signature to recenter it on your screen. So we're going to bring this up, double check our alignment this way, we're good. And then since we had a successful scan, we're going to narrow our scan zone there. Hit Analyze again. Okay, so we found a mining barge and a combat site there. So for this series, we're not really interested in combat sites, relic sites, data sites. So what you can do here is right-click and ignore result. We're looking for wormholes. So let's check our list again. We're going to double-click another cosmic signature, which will center and highlight it. We're going to move our probes over that direction. Change views, recenter, and then we're going to go back up to the 8AU probe size. Okay, so a lot of stuff popped up here. I do see a wormhole, but that one in particular was a combat site. So this other signature just happened to be pretty close. So I'm going to remove the combat site. I'm going to click on this wormhole here, and we're gonna go for that. Zoom in a little bit, move this over. That's already pretty good, but we're going to adjust it slightly, decrease our probe size, analyze. Also, I don't want to see this D-scan zone, so I'm going to turn that off. You can do that by you can toggle that on and off right here. Okay, so we're seeing some mining frigates out there, an exhumer even, a couple other ships, but a wormhole. So we're trying to get this percentage here up to 100% so we can warp to it. 54%, so we're going to recenter our probes. that's pretty good. Remember to bring your size down each pass and scan. Alright, so even at a 2 AU size, we pinpointed that thing down to 100%. You can see it's an unstable wormhole. So that's what we're looking for. However, I do want to zoom back out because we lost our ships we were looking for there. So let's look at this. See if we can pinpoint where these guys are mining at. There we go. So I want this exhumer here. So we're gonna click on that. Okay, you see how it's got two different options here for where it could be. So there's a couple ways to go about scanning this down. One way is to put your scan, the center of your scan radius in between the two. You kind of line it up in that pathway there. Hit analyze, and it may or may not work out for you. Normally what I'll do is I'll take the dot that pops up that's further away from where I scanned, and that's usually it. So see, it was up there actually, so that would have been correct, but it narrowed it down enough that we can scan this exhumer down and figure out where he's at. So let's center it, zoom in so we get a little better resolution on here. So that's pretty good. We're going to narrow our size, hit analyze. So there we go. We got a skiff. So if we wanted to, we could right click this guy and warp straight to him now that we know exactly where he's at. So normally what you would do is you could use your D scan, kind of see who's in the area, and then kind of go to a more narrow cone, get it pointed in a probably not that narrow. Try to get it reasonably where you think it might be, and then break out your probes, put your probes over that area, and you can scan them down and find their exact location and warp straight to them, if that's what you're interested in. Otherwise, it's just good information. You can know, especially once we get in Wormhole, you can know exactly where somebody's at if they're sitting on your wormhole exit. Good information to have before you try to warp to the wormhole. So that is how to track somebody down if you need to. So the last thing I think we're going to talk about here is just some general situational awareness. Like I said, in a wormhole, we're not going to see who's on local, so it's all about this D scan here. So, in just regular high sec, low sec, whatever, normally I keep this on 5 or maybe even 1 AU, just so I know who's close to me, because I can already see who's in system. Once we get in Wormhole, I like to turn this thing all the way up. I want to know if anybody's in system because I don't have that information in local here. So just something to keep in mind there. Well, that about does it for this video. Hope you found this information useful and now able to use your directional and probe scanners to their fullest. In the next video, we'll be going over a ton of information on wormholes. Hope to see you there. Until then, fly safe.